Howdy folks, and welcome back to MOC-UP. This is the show where I teach you tips, tricks, and techniques that I've learned in my 20 plus years of Lego building. Today we got something kind of special for you guys. I've got a guest star with me. This is Sara.
Hi!
And she is sort of my protege, I guess we could say. And she has done something that I really don't do a whole heck of a lot, and that is two-dimensional art, which she has really kind of come into her own with and taken off with it. So I think this particular sign was really the first one that I saw, I know. And you said this is also the first one that you did?
Yes, it's the first one that I've completed fully. I had fiddled with it a little bit, but this is the first one that I had actually finished and was willing to put on display for people to see.
Okay, and I think it came out really, really well. So do you want to talk a little bit about your process here? I mean, did you plan it out much? Did you use any software? Did you just go for it?
Well, this actually was not necessarily planned. I just noticed that I had a lot of the yellow bricks around me, and I figured why not just go for the typical Lego, and I figured the letters wouldn't be that hard since the style of the letters, and it was very straight lines for the most part, and I could work on the arching of the letters for the G and the O, but getting to the letters was kind of difficult for me. I had to find pixelated images of the letters, but then I had to find some that were small enough or was clear enough or well done enough for me to translate into Lego. And even then I had to add my own little flair to it.
Yes, the serifs, I believe they're called.
Yes.
The little extra bits, which came out really well, by the way, I think. So you added those on by yourself?
Yeah, when I had spaced it out, I had a good bit of extra rows and columns left over that looked a little weird to me in between each letter, so that's when I added the serifs to kind of add the emphasis on each letter, and it kind of makes it more unified and uniformed.
I think it really does. And I think one thing we should talk about is the structure of this. This is not all one base.
No, I guess you would qualify it as 3 levels. You have...
We can flip it up here so you guys at home can see this real quick. Whoop.
As he breaks my perfect art.
Yes.
As you can tell, there's the yellow brick, but the yellow brick is on top of a plate. Now,
that's these black plates here.
The plates, I had to reinforce on the back side of it with the orange and green plates. That way it had more of a solid structure, but it did kind of warp almost, I want to say.
Yes, you can actually kind of see it, how it kind of warps. And if your creations at home do this, don't worry. This happens all the time. It happens when you're using 2 layers of plate and when you have a lot of plate covering each other. In fact, if you ever look at the way that Lego does a second story, it is reinforced by brick, not plate, unless it is a modular building, in which case, if it is reinforced, it's reinforced by the minimum amount of parts that they can get away with, because it does this flexing. And I've actually asked about this flexing to some very smart people, including an engineer, and nobody could tell me why. Nobody knows why it does this, which is a little bit annoying, because I'd like to figure out how to fully fix it, but, it works. But, honestly, I don't think that the flexing on this particular one is that bad at all. I think it came out really well.
Well, I also added the clear 1x2 bricks at the bottom and around it, so that way it didn't look like it was warping in as much, and that way it could kind of stand on its own.
That's a very good point that you've brought up. Hiding the ugly. We'll be covering that in an episode coming up shortly. But yeah, hiding the ugly is a very good technique to, well, hide the ugly and show what you want to show. Draw the eye to where you want it to be. And I think it came out really well. Now, you've done some more since this.
Yes.
And,
I'm a complete nerd. And so I have made some lantern ones also.
oh, yes, yeah, the Green Lantern ones, yeah.
Yes.
And we'll flash some pictures up here for you guys to see. And these use a little bit different technique here. You made it what I want to call faux 2D.
Yes.
Because it is semi 3D. It's, if you've ever looked at the back of a coin, the image is made almost like that, where
it looks raised.
Yeah, like different sections are raised, but with color.
It was me trying to branch out and try different things, so that way my stuff didn't look all the same.
And I think it came out really well, actually.
The Green Lantern one definitely turned out awesome.
And one thing she did do that I want to point out, because I really like this technique, it's a technique that I need to start working in a heck of a lot more, is she's put colors, a plate of color underneath the clear plates.
Yes.
So the clear plates don't take on the full color of what's beneath it, but they take on slightly that color. And you could do the same thing if you want to get some like murky water for like a swamp or something like that. You can put like a dark green plate and then some light blue plates on top of that, and it gives it a slightly greenish blue color.
Oh.
Yeah, so and you kind of discovered that on yourself, by yourself, which is pretty dang cool.
It was interesting. I didn't have much around me to work with because of the greens that I had. I'm very picky and I wanted to do it justice.
Yes.
So this is where my fandom almost was to a fault, because I wanted to make sure it was going to do it justice. So I was very picky about what colors were where, the exact shape of it, making sure that it was the appropriate size, that the symbol was symmetric. It was a hard one for me.
And when you're doing two-dimensional or faux two-dimensional art like this, I really don't think that's a bad idea. I've actually done a couple of signs before that didn't come out quite symmetrical. And even if you can't tell that it's because it's not symmetrical, you just look at them and you know it's off. And it just bugs you.
It bugs you the entire time, and it stares at you.
Oh no, it's horrible. It's horrible. So yeah, symmetry is something very good to keep in mind. Now, have you planned any of your new ones out?
I have for a little bit. I know I want to finish my Lantern series. There's a total of 9. I only have about 4 done, and I'm trying to make each one look different. So that's why it's taken me a little bit longer. That way they don't all look the same. I also am trying to plan on this Ninjago one. And
for the new movie.
For
That's
the new
right.
movie
That's right.
coming out.
Yeah. That's right.
So I'm hoping to use the same effect that I had for the Green Lantern one with the raised bricks, so it looks like a faux 2D for the shadows and all of that of the actual minifigure face.
Yes. No, you showed me that picture the other day. That's right. Now, do you ever use any like graph paper or anything to plan this stuff out?
I try to use graph paper for the most part, and I will color and shade so I can see the exact measurements that I need, what colors and where the placement of everything is. The issue is I'm not very artistic when it comes to paper, so it's a struggle, and that's the longest portion of making the two-dimensional art for me.
We have talked about using graph paper, and graph paper, by the way, if you're doing something two-dimensional or even three-dimensional, graph paper works phenomenally.
Yes.
Because what you can do is you can decide each individual square is equivalent
to
one stud, or if you need to build something larger, you can do where it's the equivalent of 4 studs. As long as each square represents a square of studs, you can plan something out really, really well in Lego, and it works extraordinarily well. And no, I understand. I am not a good drawer as well. And I probably used the wrong word there. I'm not entirely sure drawer is a word, but you know.
It is today.
Yes, it is today. But we'll be going over a little bit of some of my own sketches and plans that I've done in a bonus episode coming up. But yeah, so planning, you don't actually have to be artistic to do it. Imagine that.
No, if I can do it, you definitely can do it. Let me tell you.
And if I can do it, anybody can do it. So yeah. All right, folks, that's probably about all we have to say today, unless you had anything in particular you wanted to say.
No, it pretty much sums it up. Just don't give up. It's a struggle at first, especially getting the base down and getting your first 2 layers done. But once you get the structure of it, you've got it.
And I think in the larger context as well, not giving up just because it doesn't come out right the first time is a good thing. Because it's never going to come out right the first time.
Oh, no. No.
If it does come out right the first time, I want to meet you because you obviously have magical powers and I would like 3 wishes. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think that's about all we have time for today. And I'll see you all next time. Keep building. Well, this is almost like a Marvel film now. We've got a post-credit scene and everything.
I know, right? But, Jordan, where is it?
Huh? Oh, crap. Right. Here, let me just turn this on here. Blast it! One moment.
A slide projector? Really?
What? This is the projector that I was talking about.
Whatever. Let's just start.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce you to our latest project, the world of Jorah.
A world with many peoples and eras all together.
Medieval humans, gladiator samurai,
Steampunk mobsters, post-apocalyptic paladin,
magical wizards, modern-day adventurers,
dwarves and elves,
trolls, and zombie vampire ninja space pirates. What?
Don't reveal the main character yet.
Why can't I reveal Jane the Defiant? She's our best character.
Just don't reveal any more characters yet.
Oh, okay, fine. Jeez, we really need to script this thing out if we're gonna have disagreements like this.
Tell me about it.
So, anyways, folks, Jorah will be a world of adventure for you to set your own adventures in.
While there are characters with stories, most of the world will be open to you to make your own stories with.
Just think, an entire world for you and your friends to explore with your minifigures is coming your way. We just don't have a date yet. So stand by.